The Indo-US nuclear deal was this high point, right, in the relationship. And is it fair to every time expect that kind of a big bang announcement from an India-US visit? Is that what we've got trapped in since then? That, okay, nuclear deal hua, uske baad, what next?
No, I think that you're not going to see that scale of an announcement ever again, because I think you were resetting your relationship. That nuclear deal was basically an agreement between two countries to now look afresh at each other and begin a new journey together. That was a seminal moment. It was a culmination, or it was the end of 50 years of a certain posture, beginning of maybe a century of another kind of engagement. It's not going to happen again. But we must understand that our relationship is still driven at the very top. We require attention from the leaders, otherwise our bureaucracy scatters their attention to more pressing and immediate issues in the neighborhood, domestically, and with perhaps more significant partners on a tactical basis. So the leaders' attention at the very top is extremely important if we want to align our various forces to work together. And I think therefore a summit like this is important. I don't think anything great is going to be achieved in 1.5 days. It is the weeks leading up to the summit and a month or two thereafter that we will see real movement in South Block, in Capitol Hill, in State Department, and in various other ministries. So I think this crowding in of attention for a relationship is important when you are still only the 15th or 14th most important trading partner for a country as big as the US. Now that's one part of it. But the second part, and I think I want to differ with Raymond Vickery, I think we have the capacity to create bigger spectacles today, and therefore they are happening. But by the way, when Bill Clinton came, he got a spectacle as well. He was dancing, and it was famous photographs of Bill Clinton dancing with the local artisans and craftspeople, the Clinton family going to various other locales. This has happened all the time. Obama did that too. The scale has changed because countries have grown, our ambition has grown, our habits have changed. I'm not saying for the better, but certainly we are delivering to current taste. You and I may not have that particular choice for that palate, but people
I have attended many of these diaspora events as a reporter.
But let me just see, this is an election year. Now, for a person who's a germophobe, who hates traveling, who cleans his hands 7 times before he touches his own face, for him to make this long trip on an election year is a significant commitment. Now he is making this because he does believe, certainly after Modi's re-election, that he needs to engage with this leader. And I think Suhasini is absolutely bang on. I think the change in US tack to India in the last 6 months is visible. I think they have put more resources into this relationship.
I think this belief that the United States is out to remake and make democracies in the world is actually a completely delusional perspective. And I'm reaching out to now all of my fellow country folks here on both sides of the political aisle. They do not seek a liberal, plural India whatsoever. You look at the biggest success of United States in Asia in the last 30, 40 years, it's China. They are the biggest contributors to globalization, $600 billion of trade, $200 billion of FDI. Yeah. So they're not at all concerned. So I think the argument I'm trying to say is that if we want democracy, pluralism, secularism.
It should be because we want it.
Yeah, and you're going to have to actually stand against the trend that they will seek to reverse it. Look at our neighbors, look at Pakistan, look at the West Asia. So I think let's put that aside, because the value base can take you in the opposite. And I think just one point I'll say, that I think this idea that we have benefited from American strategic altruism is actually should be flipped on its head. We have been the altruistic power in the last decade, certainly in the last 3-4 years. I think it's time to get some sort of an equilibrium in the terms of this engagement, because if we don't do so, we'll eventually run out of money. It's as simple as that.